let's start with the introduction part, okay? And then we'll continue with the demo. Since we don't know each other, let's have a small round of introduction, just the name and your experience so that we understand each other. And when I have to explain few things in detail, if you're not into SAP, if you're not into SuccessFactors, I can stretch on it. Okay. So first, let me introduce myself. I'm Venu. I have around 16 years of experience into the field of HR, where I started my career as HR executive for one of the manufacturing industries, where I've learned all the areas or all the processes of HR, what a HR does in the organization. From there, I've moved into SAP, which is again IT. From the core functional, I've moved to IT part of it by learning SAP HCM configurations. I was working as a SAP HCM consultant earlier for Indian customers, and then from there I've upgraded my skills and got into SuccessFactors, since SuccessFactors is a product of SAP HCM. So I've learned SuccessFactors, and it's been like almost 9 years that I'm into SuccessFactors. And in these 9 years, I have handled various modules in SuccessFactors like Employee Central, Compensation, PMGM, and RCM. Okay, though I've worked on all of these modules, I'm more comfortable in Employee Central and Compensation because I've spent most of my time in these two modules. Okay, so that's a quick intro about me. Okay, now I would like you people to introduce one at a time. So do you want me to take out the names? Apurva Joshi?
Yeah, hi all. So my name is Apurva Joshi, and I have around 5.6 years of experience in SAP HCM payroll. That means I'm currently working as a HCM payroll consultant.
Okay, so you're working as a payroll consultant, and you're working for Indian payroll or UK or US?
No, US payroll.
US payroll. Okay, yeah, good to know that, Apurva. Thank you.
Thank you.
Harita?
Hello, my name is Harita. I did my master's MBA in HR and marketing. I was into finance. After that, I worked for 5 years there. But after that, I didn't work. I moved to USA. So now I'm, I want to, start my career again. So looking to do the SAP SuccessFactors because I want to move to HR.
Okay, yeah, thank you, Harita.
Thank you.
Kumar?
Yes, I'm Shiv Kumar. I do have around 7 years of experience as a recruiter, which includes as a domestic recruiter as well as US recruiter. Yeah, and I've been looking to migrate for SAP.
Okay, yeah, thank you, Shiv Kumar.
Thank you.
Nandu? Your voice is very low, Nandu. Can you be a bit louder or come close to the mic and speak? I hardly hear you anything, Nandu. I'm sorry.
Hello?
Yeah, much
This is Nandita
better.
here.
Yeah,
I'm
I
sorry.
can.
Yeah.
It's okay.
So this is Nandita here. I have 11 years of experience. I'm just like you. I've started my career as HR, which was 5+ years, and then I moved on to this IT, pursuing SAP HCM from Autos, and then landed in Wipro. Start having my experience of around 6 years by now. So altogether it is 11+ years. And now I am upgrading my skill to SF in SuccessFactors.
Okay, Nandita. So you are into SAP HCM functional, right?
Yes, I am.
And what modules were you handling?
I am experienced much in time. I don't have hands-on on payroll, but I am expertise in time PAOM.
Okay, it's positive time, right?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Nandita. There's one user with PV iPhone, I don't know. Name?
Hi, sir. This is Lakshmi.
Yeah, hi, Lakshmi. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Sir, actually, I was working
You
for
don't have
SAP.
to call me, sir. You can call me Venu.
Okay,
Okay.
Venu.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I have 13 plus years of experience in manufacturing sector as a HR.
Mhm.
And recently, I was working for SAP for last 2 years.
SAP
So,
as an
like,
end user or a functional consultant?
functional, sir.
You're okay. You're working
Sorry,
as
it's
SAP.
an end user. It's end user and payroll further.
Okay, okay, yeah.
Yeah. And I would like to evaluate myself in SAP, and I was more interested towards SAP. This is mine.
Okay, thank you,
Yeah.
Lakshmi.
Thank you.
Rajiv,
Myself, Rajiv. I had just completed my BTech. I'm
Mhm.
looking for a suitable course to join. So
Okay.
my sister recommended it.
To learn success factors. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. Good, Rajiv. Thank you. Sandeep,
Yeah, hi Venu. This is Sarnip here. I have around 5 years of experience on SuccessFactors as an end user in ECM module and all.
Mhm.
I want to learn more about consulting
configuration part of it. Yeah,
configuration.
yeah. Thank you, Sandeep. Satish. So we have two Satish, Satish Kadali and Satish Rai. Satish Kadali.
Sorry. Hi, Venu. Good morning.
Yeah, hi, good morning.
Yeah, this is my name is Satish Kumar. Actually, I have a 7+ experience in HR generalist profile.
Mhm.
Presently, I'm looking for enhanced skills in SAP SuccessFactors.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Satish. Satish Rai.
Good morning, Venu. My
Good
name is
morning.
Satish. Yeah, I'm working as a recruiter, like complete HR operations in Deloitte from last 4 years. Total, I have 8.5 years of experience, but
Mhm.
not moving ahead in career. So just wanted to learn something which can push my career a little bit higher.
Okay, so you're working as a recruiter in Deloitte.
Yeah,
So
I'm into contingent workforce hiring. I use SFE field class as a tool, but I want to move into complete, because there
So
are IJPs and things like that. So I
yeah,
think,
yeah.
yeah.
So you should be helping all of us in getting into Deloitte.
Yeah,
Since you're already into recruiting. Yeah, at least the aspirants who are looking out for a job in Deloitte. Yeah, good to know that, Satish. Thank you. Siva Jyoti.
Yeah, hi all. This is Shiva Jyoti. I'm from Hyderabad. I have total experience of 15 years in the testing side. So it's all like a functional and automation. I have a knowledge on the SQL and some technical, things. So, but thing is, like, I don't want to move to the core part. So I'm just looking for any other field which is, far from the core. From the coding side also. So I mean, like while searching that, then I came to know like SAP SuccessFactors about this thing. So I just want to more get into this. What is this and how big useful? Like whether it perfectly match with my profile or not. So just I'm looking for that. So then I came
Okay.
to know about this.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you all. Okay, then let's start our success factors demo. So good to know about you people. Good. There are people who are already working in success factors, maybe as an end user. Okay, there are people who are working in SAP who knows little bit of success factors because success factors is a product of SAP. Okay, and there are people who are into functional side wanting to move to success factors, which is a functional or the IT side of HR. Okay, and then we also have people who are, yeah, Soumya, I'm sorry if I have missed you.
Hi.
Soumya, do you want to introduce yourself? Soumya, Shravani, I haven't seen you. Okay.
Hi Venu, I'm Shravani this side, and I have 3 years of domestic IT recruitment, and I want to move into SAP SuccessFactors. So I joined this class.
Okay, thank you, Shravani. Soumya? Okay, so we have mix of people who are into IT, who are into non-IT, who are just fresh graduates from the college who are willing to learn success factors. Okay, so let's talk about success factors. Now, what is success factors? Can somebody tell me what is success factors? What do you know about success factors? What do we do in success factors? Anybody? It could be anything, whatever that you know about success
It
factors.
is a cloud platform for HR people to configure as per customer needs.
Okay, so it is a cloud computing HCM application for organizations who want to implement the HR application in the organization. Okay, so very good. What is cloud computing, or what is cloud-based HCM application? What do you mean by cloud-based? What is cloud?
Might be you can use the application through a web URL or web URL instead of
Exactly.
installing
So
it
let's
directly into the system.
look at the architecture of a system of architecture of an application, and then we'll talk about the cloud computing. Okay. So if you want to use any application, what is the first thing that we need? We need some space, right, to install the application. Yes or no? Anything. Let's not talk about success factors. Let's first talk about the generic application. So let's say we are using, all of us are using mobiles, right? Now, if I want to use one application, it could be a social collaborative, or it could be a gaming application, or it could be any application. What is the first thing that we need? The first thing that we need is the space, whether we have the enough space to have that application installed in your system or not. Right? Second, now once you have enough space, now we should have a platform to go and bring that application to us. Now we have different platforms, Androids, you have iPhones, which is using a different platform. So you have different application, different products with different platforms. So second is your platform. Okay. Now, if you're using Android phones, you go to Play Stores. Otherwise, if you're using iPhones, you go to App Store to go and look for the application. And then third is you get that application and install in your system and start using that application, right? Now here, what we are doing is when we are downloading the application, that application is using the space in our systems. Is using the space in our systems. Now, few applications, they are very small, maybe 200 MB or 2 MB or 1 MB or maybe 1 GB also. We have different applications with different size. Depending on the type of the application that we want to use, we have these space allocations. Right. Now, if you look at the picture here, the same thing what we have discussed. Okay, there's the first part of it, the space what we are talking, that is called the infrastructure. Okay, now in the larger terms, we call them as a network, or we call them databases, or we call them servers, we call them block storages, and so on. And then second part of it is the platform. Okay, the identity, or how this database or where the database is run. And the third is your application, where we collaborate the content, we communicate each other, okay, and we monitor these things, the processes of the system. Okay, now the cloud computing. Now, all of these things, if you want to use an application, so you need the space, you need the platform, and you need the application. So if we are using all of this in your premises, we call it as an on-premise application. Now, the example of an on-premise application is SAP. Now, if I want to use the SAP, what is the first thing that I need? I need the SAP GUI. I need to install SAP in my system. So when you install SAP, you'll get a SAP GUI. You need to click on SAP GUI, and then it asks you what client you want to use. Then it connects to the server and brings the data to you. Right. Now, your server must be somewhere in your organization, and you have connected to your server either the local area network or through VPN. Okay, whereas the cloud computing applications like SuccessFactors is a cloud-based HCM application. So cloud-based HCM applications or cloud-based application doesn't need any server. So where does the data get stored? Now, when you work for any organizations, when you work for bigger organizations like, if the organization has got 10,000 or 50,000 employees. So say we need a lot of space to have all of their data. And we need to store all of that data in somewhere. Okay, and that storage, we do it in the remote servers. Okay, so the practice of using a network of remote servers hosted on internet. So this database or the server, what we are talking, this is hosted somewhere in the internet, and we don't see it physically. And we use these servers to store, manage, and process the data rather than a local server or a local computer. Again, another simple example, if I want to download a song, or if I want to download a movie, I can go to a particular web URL, download that movie or download that file into your local system. So when you download that system, it is occupying, that file is occupying some space in your local system, right? If you are downloading it in your computer, somewhere your C drive or D drive, that file is getting saved. So it is utilizing the space in your system, right? Now there is another way of having the file in your systems. So you can log into your Google, open your Google Drive, keep your file into the Google Drive. Let's say within our mobiles, if you have the Google Drive installed, so you can place your files into the Google Drive. What happens when you place your files in Google Drive? Now that file is accessible from any corner of the world. If you have your file in your local system, let's say in your local mobile or in your local computer or laptop, you will only be access that file if you have your system with you. Tomorrow you are somewhere outside and you want to access your file, you'll not be able to access. I hear some background noise.
Yeah.
If you're not talking, please be on mute. Manisha, please. Okay, so the same file, if you have it in your drive, you can access it even if you don't have your mobile or your computer with you, and you're outside of the country also, you can still be able to access that file. How? Because the file what you have saved is in the drive, which is in the cloud. So you are accessing it through internet. All that you need is internet. You log into your Google, then access that file. And the same thing, SuccessFactors application is also a cloud-based application where the data gets stored in the servers which are hosted remotely. So that we can access the data from any corner of the world. That's why now sitting here in India or sitting somewhere, some part of the country, we can access the data of any employee across the globe. Now, if my customer operates from 10 different countries, I can operate all of the data from here. Now, the employees are in different countries, US, UK, Japan, or Australia, New Zealand, but I still can access the data, can still access the application from anywhere. Because these servers are hosted on internet and we access the application through the web URL. So based on this, the cloud service models have been divided into 3. IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS. IaaS is infrastructure as a service. There are some customers who only want to have the infrastructure. They don't want any application. They want to build their own application, but they want to use the infrastructure because infrastructure is very expensive. Now, if I have to procure, 100 TB or 1000 TB of space, it is very expensive. So instead of purchasing, you can subscribe for the space using the infrastructure as a service. And then second is your platform as a service. Now, once you have your infrastructure, you want to build your application. On what platform you want to build? So there are open platforms where you can go subscribe and use the platforms and build your own application. And then third is software as a service. Now here, you don't have to worry about IAS and PAS. All of this comes together with software. So the example of software as a service is your SuccessFactors application or a Workday application, where the application is already developed. You just have to subscribe, start using that application, configure it as per your requirement, and start using that application. A platform as a service, examples can be your Google Apps Engine or a Force.com, where your Salesforce is built. IaaS, we have examples of Amazon Web Services, AWS, okay, VMware or Azure. So these are all examples of IaaS. Now, why should customers go with cloud computing? Why not on-premise? Why all of the customers are moving out from on-premise applications to cloud computing applications? What are the uses of it? The first and foremost would be your productivity anywhere. You can since you can access the application from any corner of the world, even if you're not in office, even if you're traveling, on a business or on a personal trip, you can still be able to access your application. If there are any approvals that needs to be done, let's say somebody has applied for a leave, somebody's performance appraisal is to be reviewed. So you can do all of this on fly. Productivity anywhere, you can access the application of anywhere. Offsite data storage, you're not storing the data. Now, if you're using on-premise application, you need to have a dedicated space for your server. First, you need to procure server, which are very expensive. You need to have a dedicated space to have your servers placed. And then you need your IT team to look after your servers. Now, the connectivity is to be done. So you need a separate team to look after your servers. But in case of cloud computing, the data is stored in the cloud and you don't need servers. You don't need separate IT team to look after your servers. That's no IT maintenance cost. Obviously, if something happens to your servers, you are responsible. Your IT team is responsible to fix it. Tomorrow, you want to, increase the size of the servers. Again, it's your responsibility. You need to purchase a new servers. Again, you need to have a dedicated space. The team should be connecting these servers. And if something happens to your servers, it is your responsibility. Whereas in cloud computing, the service provider will be looking after it. The applications are they are up and running 24/7. Okay, and this is always up. Lower cost of ownership, because you're not spending on your servers, because you don't have to dedicate some space to your servers. You don't have to have a separate team to look after your servers. Obviously, the amount that we spend on the cloud computing applications are much less when compared to on-premise applications. And every application that we use in our daily life needs some kind of upgrades. Now, when I say upgrades, a simple example of a WhatsApp application. All of you must be using WhatsApp application. Now, when WhatsApp was first introduced, what features we had in it? We only had little features like sending messages and receiving messages. Later, now they have upgraded the product. Now, today's application, we have many features. We can send even money. We can send some pictures. We can have a group calls. We can have a group chat. There are many features which are added after that. Now, how did they add all of this? They've added these features by upgrading the versions, by upgrading the applications. So similarly, any product that we use needs some kind of upgrades. It can be the improvements in the product, or it can be new functionalities incorporated into the application. So SuccessFactors also upgrades their product once in 6 months. Okay, twice in a year we upgrade, and these upgrades contains a lot of new features, new enhancements, new improvements, bug fixes. All of these are done through upgrades. Now coming to SuccessFactors. What is SuccessFactors? SuccessFactors is a cloud-based HCM application developed by SAP, which offers a comprehensive set of tools and functionalities to manage different aspects of HR processes. Like you can do various things in SuccessFactors application, starting from hiring the employees, hiring the candidates, maintaining of the employee data, and then doing the performance appraisals or the reviews, appraisals at the end of the year, compensation reviews at the end of the year, learnings which are required for the employees throughout their life cycle in the organization. The management might need different kinds of reports. They might need, at the end of the month, they might need their attrition report, they might need the headcount report, payroll might need some information. So all of these are handled in SuccessFactors application. So we have different modules in SuccessFactors. And out of all of these modules, if you look at this picture, the core or the base is Employee Central, because we maintain all master data in Employee Central. Anything related to the employee. While hiring the employee, like what does a HR do in any organization? HR hires the employee. When they hire the employees, they take a lot of information from us. Now, let's say if I'm an employee selected for some organization, today is my join. So if I go to the organization, they'll ask me a lot of information, like what is your address or what are your education. Now they might need education copies, they might need the experience copies, they might need my address proofs, they might need my national ID proof. So all of this information, they store it in the system, they manage it in the system. And this data is stored in a module called Employee Central. So Employee Central will talk more about how the data is stored, what all information is required, what all can be customized. So all of that we'll talk. But the Employee Central simply is the maintenance of the master data. And then once you have your master data maintained in Employee Central, this data is required for the other modules, like performance. Now, if a manager has to review the employee's performance, manager should know what is that employee, what is the grade of that employee, what are the objectives of that employee, what are the developments that the employee needs. So all of this information is available in Employee Central. And this data is sent to performance module, or sent to learning module for trainings, sent to compensation for reviews, sent to succession to do the org audits, sent to analytics or the reporting to extract reports. And similarly, Employee Central can also pull the data from other modules. Data from other modules can be stored in Employee Central also. Okay, now what is Employee Central? Employee Central is used to maintain employee information of the employees. Now, the employee information can be broadly divided into two parts: personal information and employment information. In personal information, we store the information like name of the employee, gender of the employee, country of birth, or the date of birth of the employee, gender, salutation, preferred language, nationality. So all of this information comes under personal information. Address details of the employee, experience details of the employee, contact information of the employee. So all of this is personal information which is owned by employee. And we also have org information for the employee, like what grade the employee is hired, what location the employee would be working in, what company the employee is in, what department the employee would be working in. So this is all the org information. Okay, and all of this is available in Employee Central. So what we would be learning in next 30-35 days is, so we have a course content which is split into 25 sessions. Now the complete Employee Central, it takes 25 sessions, 25 to 30 sessions to learn the each and every aspect of Employee Central. First, we'll start with the theoretical part. First 4 sessions would be theoretical part. Like we'll have to look at the roles and responsibilities of a SuccessFactors consultant. All of us, when we get into SuccessFactors, what would be our role? What would be what are our responsibilities? What will we be doing in the organization? We'll be doing the configuration. We'll be doing the support. We'll be doing the implementation. So how this process goes on? What is the structure of, or what is the architecture of SuccessFactors system? How do we do the certification? Is certification required to get into SuccessFactors? So what is Learning Hub? What is Partner Edge? What is help.sap? So we'll learn all of these things in the first 4 sessions, completely of theoretical base. You don't have to practice anything here. All that is you need to absorb what we teach. The first 4 sessions. And then from 5th session onwards, we'll be getting into SuccessFactors, the practical part of SuccessFactors. Every one of you will be given access to system where you can log in and do the practice. We'll be talking about different topics each day, and these are to be practiced. You will have to spend minimum of 1 hour. Other than this 1 hour of training, you should spend some time working on the system. You should make your hands dirty, practice a lot. Minimum, I'll say 1 hour, but it is up to you. If you want to spend more time, that's well and good. You want to get into SuccessFactors immediately, after 1 month, you spend on the system, spend time on the system. The system is open. It is not only the Employee Center. You can access anything in the system. So try and utilize and practice. All of the material will be provided. Don't have to worry about material. I'll tell you what material is important for you. If you have to take a printout of some documents, I'll share all of that information. Your system access is given. Your material is given, and will help you in clearing your certification. Will help you in clearing the certification. Will help you in building your resumes and preparing your resume and getting ready for your interviews. Okay, from the 5th day onwards, we have 2 different types of system in SuccessFactors. One of it is called provisioning, where we do very little of configuration. Around 5% of the entire configuration, we do it in the provisioning system. So I'll tell you what are those settings that we have to do it in the provisioning. And then from there, we move to instance, or the actual system where we do the configuration. So we set up the data. First, we set up the data, configure the data, and we'll go and see using the data that we have maintained, how do we hire employees into the system, and what all information we maintain while hiring the employees. Once we hire employees, we'll go and see bulk data maintenance. Now, if your customer says we operate from 100 different locations, so we need to create those 100 locations. Your customer says, I have now 10,000 positions in the organizations, and I want to see those 10,000 positions in the system. So maintaining this data and manually would be very difficult task. So we have the option of uploading or maintaining the bulk data in the system through CSV files or the Excel files. You have all of the data in your Excel templates, upload it into the system. You can have 10,000 employees in one go. You can have 50,000 positions in one go. It takes some time. Now, 100 employees data, it gets uploaded in less than a minute. 1,000 employees, it may take some time, maybe 2 or 3 minutes. Not even 2 to 3 minutes. Hardly, 1.5 minute it uploads. So we see how the bulk data is maintained. And then once we have some sample data available, we'll go and see the security part, which is very important. How do we keep our data secure? Can anybody log into the system? Can anybody access all of these configurations? Can anybody look at my salary? No. And all of this is controlled through RBP. We have a module called role-based permissions in Employee Center. Now, RBP is for all the modules of SuccessFactors. We do a lot of things in Employee Central too. So we control the access. Employees will have access to their own data. Now, if I am an employee, I can do anything with my data. When I say my data, my personal information. I can only view my salary details. I will not have access to edit my salary details. Otherwise, what I'll do, I'll go change my salary to 10 lakhs. If my salary says 1 lakh, I'll go and put one more zero and it becomes 10 lakhs. No, I will not have access to edit my salary. I can only see my salary. Who can edit? HRs can edit the data. If I'm a manager, apart from my own data, I can also look at my direct reports data. If I'm a HR manager, I'm also an employee, I'm also a manager, I'm also a HR. So I will have some additional access. I can go update any employee, I can hire employee, I can transfer employees, I can promote employees, I can terminate employees. So each employee, when they log into the system, depending on the role that is assigned to them, they will get to see the things. And they get to access the application depending on the permissions that are granted to them. So how do we restrict? How do we, maybe some employees see some fields and some other employees see some other fields. If we have a scenario like this, yes, we can manage. Now, all the employees of UK should see some data and all the employees of India should see some data. Yes, we can control that. And this is done through role-based permissions. And then while doing the transactions, you might need some approvals. Let's say if you are terminating an employee or you are promoting an employee or you are transferring the employee. If you need the approval process to be defined, I want to have 2 levels of approvals for transfers, 3 levels of approvals for promotions, 4 levels of approvals for termination. First, manager has to approve. Then it should go to department head. Then it should go to HRBP. Then it should go to finance people for approvals. We can configure all of these processes or the workflows in the system with different levels of approval. Now, these approvals can be for any process, not only for transfers or promotions. Even if employee changes something, employee changes address, I want HR to validate that before it gets updated in the system. Yes, we can do that using workflows. And apart from these, we do a lot of calculations, we do a lot of validations in the system, we auto-populate the data. And all of these are done through business rules. We have a concept called business rules where we implement the logic to perform different actions, like adding the pay components or the salary components, or to calculate the salary of the employee by adding some components, deducting some components, or multiplying some components. We can do all of that using business rules. I want to validate the data. So user updates some information like gender, user has put gender as male and then salutation as miss. I want system to stop that because that's not correct. I want system to validate when whatever data that is being keyed in, I want to validate and see if users are doing it in the right way. Now you can prompt the user saying that, no, you cannot save this record because you have the wrong data in this area. And this is done through logics that can be written in business rules. And we can customize the application. Every customer will have a different process which they follow, different needs in the system. So we can customize the application to some extent. Like SuccessFactors gives you some 100 fields in one block. Okay, Now, if a customer says, I don't want to use all of these 100 fields, I want to use only 20 fields, and I have my own fields, I have additional 20 fields to be configured. Yes, you enable only those 20 fields from the standard system and 20 other fields that your customer want to have. We can do that customization. We can add any portlet or a block, new or a custom block into the system. We can set up the themes. Now, different customers uses different themes. If you look at Pepsi, you go log into Pepsi, you'll see more of blue and white combination. You log into Coke portal, you'll see a different theme there. You will see the application, or you will see the web URL with different colors. When you log into, or when you access the Coke URL, you see red and white color. Now, some companies, they use black, some companies, they use green, some companies use picture in the background. So all of this can also be done in SuccessFactors application. The functionalities remains same, but the themes what we apply in system is different. So all of these things we'll be doing in our regular sessions. So this is the overview of what we'll be covering in next 20-25 sessions, or 35 to 40 days. Now, the course is designed to cover all of these things in 25 sessions, which goes on for 35 to 40 days. So we'll be having classes, 1 hour every day, Monday to Friday, 5 sessions a week, 5 into 5. So 5 into 5 weeks, 35 days. If you have any festivals like we have Independence Day and other festivals in between, so it goes to like 35 to 40 days. Okay, any questions? I take a pause here and see if you have any questions around the SuccessFactors Employee Center.
So Venu or Satish, I just have one question. Like once we are done with all the trainings and modules, so is there any I am an experienced guy. I can't go as a fresher, or there is nothing available for fresher if you try internally. So is
Yes.
any real-time project associated, or from any way we can do it, so that at least we can get an idea on how to.
Yeah, frankly speaking, there are very few openings for freshers. So
Yeah.
there are companies who hires freshers also, but compared to the experience, we have very few openings for the freshers. Okay, and whatever that we do in the session, the complete 25 sessions what we are doing, or 20 practical sessions what we are doing, we do it as a project. Okay, we take a company. What is the company's requirement? So first we need to create a company. Okay. So let's take Reliance Industries Limited. Reliance Industries operates from different locations, and they have different businesses. So what are those businesses? So add all of those businesses. Each business contains some departments. So create all of those departments. And once you have all of this data set up, we go hire some employees, maybe 20 or 30 employees, each one of the employee in different departments. Okay, somebody would be the HR, somebody would be the department head, somebody would be the manager. So we do all of these things like a project. Now, once you complete, after 20 sessions, if you go and recap, you will find all of those dots, connected dots. Okay. Now, the same thing you want to do it as a project separately. Yes, you can do that. We'll give that information.
Sure. Thank you.
Yeah.
Venu,
Yes.
for this, do we have any specific domain knowledge, what is the process?
No domain knowledge is required. It is good if you have the HR knowledge, like what a HR does in the organization, and what all an employee does in the organization. If you know that, that's enough. There are no prerequisites that you should have SAP knowledge or you should have Oracle knowledge. No, anybody can learn SuccessFactors.
Yeah, so actually, for my case, like I'm total have 15 years experience. So how can I get into this SAP other role wise? Because I already experienced and I came into some certain level of compensation, right? So
Yeah.
generally,
So definitely your past experience is always considered when you're hired. Okay. So maybe you're new to SuccessFactors. Again, I would recommend you use some of your experience as a SuccessFactors experience, at least minimum 2 to 3 years of experience.
Okay, is it like again in the starting role of the suppose if
No,
I get
it is now if you're going with 2 to 3 years of at least the fake experience of SAP, you're not be into as a fresher role.
Okay, generally what type of roles will be there in this? Could you please give me just high level details?
So we have different roles, or only 2 different roles. Like we don't have many roles in SuccessFactors. Like in SAP, we have different roles, like a BAPer who customizes or who develops the system, functional consultant who gathers the requirement and configures the system. We have ESS, MSS consultant. We have basis consultant. So we have different roles in other areas. But in SuccessFactors, we only have 2 roles. One is the implementation consultant, and second is the support consultant. Implementation, you go get the requirements from customer, configure the system. And then support, once the implementation is completed, every SuccessFactors customer across the globe, the one good thing that we have in SuccessFactors is every customer who is using SuccessFactors should have a support team working with them for various reasons. I'll tell you those. Okay. So either you would be into implementation or support. There's nothing like which one is good, like implementation or support. And we never know when you're hired. Now they might say you're being hired as a support, and then after you're hired, they may place you in implementation. Before hiring, they might say that no, we are taking you as an implementation consultant, but no, once you're hired, there's a requirement for a support, they can put you in the support. So both the roles, you should have the equal knowledge. It's not nothing like something is something needs more experience or something is support needs less experience. No, it's not like that.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. And we'll be starting off the sessions very soon. The next week, you can check with your representatives on the classes. And the timings for the classes are 7:30 a.m. in the morning. Yeah.
Actually, after 25 days, like how we guys like to do the practice session of the SAP SuccessFactors? I mean,
System access. You will be given system access as part of the course content. You will be given system access for 1 month or till the course completion. But again, this can be renewed, after the course completion as well. You can speak to your representative.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. That can be system access can be extended.
Fine. Yeah, thank you.
Yep.
Hi, Venu. This is Satish Kadale.
Yeah. Hi, Satish.
What about certification? Is this mandatory?
Certification, yes. To get into SuccessFactors, it is mandatory to have certification. I'll explain you the process of doing the certification, how to do certification, where to do the certification, all that information I'll provide. But yes, to answer your question, certification is mandatory, and this is the SAP certification. You all will be doing the SAP certification through training.sap.com portal.
Okay.
The first thing in your first thing that would be asked in your interviews is whether you have certification or not. I'll be covering the certification questions as well as and when we discuss some, the areas of the configuration. I'll tell you what are the probable questions that can come in your interviews.
Okay. Thank you.
Hi, this side Soumya.
Yes.
So I have this question, like I'm willing to join this course because there is an upcoming project in my organization on role redesigning in SuccessFactors, and I'm very much new to the SuccessFactor. Though I have done one project in SuccessFactor before, it was an overseas project where we have to do the pre-implementation review. So after that, I completed my certification as well. But now the challenge is, if I will join this course, will you be helping out me if I have any queries when the project comes into the picture?
Yeah, that can be done, but while on the course, we'll be only learning the topics that we have in the course content. So once you
Okay.
are into implementation, if you have any clarifications that you need, or you need some assistance in configuration, that will help you. That will do. Not
Okay.
as a course, not as a course content, but as a
Okay.
separate
Okay.
support.
So by which lecture we will be coming on to the role-based permission part? I think that is much of significance to me.
No, we have designed this course in such a way that each and every area of the Employee Central are covered, and RBP is very important. Okay, RBP
Okay.
would be somewhere around 11th or the 12th session here.
Okay.
Okay, because you need to know how do we hire
Yes.
employees, how to add
Right.
employees, what are the objects that we have. You need to know about some configuration before getting into RBP. We cannot directly jump onto RBP.
Okay.
Okay. So while
Fine.
maintaining the data, you'll see different portlets of information of employee. Okay. So how do we
Okay.
control each of those fields or each of those blocks? That we see it here in RBP. So 16th
All,
session is your RBP.
all right. All right.
So Venu, out of the course question, just wanted to ask. Right now, I'm using my office laptop, no personal laptop I have. So, any specific prerequisite to have a laptop?
No specific. Only thing is you should have a proper internet. Any system can be used.
Even to
You don't have to
practice,
install anything here. It is web URL. So if you are connected to internet, that's more than enough.
even during the practice, also which you told that you will be getting accesses. So for that also, only internet connectivity would be fine.
Yes. Yes.
All right. Thank
Hi Venu, this is Shiva, and I do have a query regarding this EC Central and recruiting model. I mean, Employee Central is needed for recruiting module also.
No, recruiting is an independent module. You don't need Employee Central module, but still Employee Central is required for all the modules because we maintain the master data. Now, as a recruiter, let's say you are into recruiting,
Yes.
you should know what are the vacant positions. Okay. So how do we maintain the position data? You should know that. Okay. And all of this position data, we maintain it in EC. What positions are available for converting into a requisition, or what information is maintained on the position? That information you should know. Okay, so you can learn recruiting module without having Employee Central also. See, you can learn any number of modules in SuccessFactors, but again, when you get into projects, you'd be working on only one project. In fact, even in one module like Employee Central, when you get into projects, you will see 2 or 3 consultants in Employee Central, 2 or 3 consultants in recruitment module, 1 or 2 in compensation, 1 or 2 in PMG, like that.
Okay, thank you.
Modules like Onboarding 2.0, Employee Central Payroll, for these modules, Employee Central is a prerequisite. You will not be allowed to do certification of Onboarding 2.0 or ECP without Employee Central. But for recruiting, compensation, PMGM, you don't need Employee Central. Any other doubts, clarifications that you need? Even in the regular sessions, feel free to ask your questions. You can stop me, interrupt me, ask your questions. If required, I can take one additional session on any of the topics that you want to have. It's
Yeah,
not like that we have 24 sessions, we have to cover it in 24. Sometimes it can be extended for 30 sessions also.
Yeah, Venu, I have one question.
Yeah.
Venu, actually, as you said, like we have a lot of, there are so many modules out there in the SAP SuccessFactors. Suppose if I learn the EC and if I learn the payroll with the plugin of this one. So suppose if the requirement is in some other module like LMS. So will they consider our profile to get into that, or is there any chance to convert from the payroll session to the LMS module or something like that, or is only specific to the requirement?
Usually when you're into projects, when you're into the organization, while hiring the candidates, they will only look for the specific skill set. They need Employee Central consultant. They only interview for Employee Central. They won't do it for learning. Okay. Now your resume will be filtered, and then only if you have Employee Central experience, they'll be considering you. Okay. Second thing, once you get into the organizations, once you get into the implementation partners, depending on now you're a EC consultant, you are working for one of the project and the project is completed. You have worked on EC module. The next project you have the vacancy in a learning module. You'll be asked to go through the learning module. Okay, they'll be giving you system access where you can learn the internal modules of SuccessFactors and do your certification, and you'll be given opportunity to work on that project.
Okay.
Okay. What else? Okay, so if you don't have any questions, we'll stop it here. You can check with your representative. We'll be starting the regular sessions very soon. And the timing would be 7:30 a.m. in the morning. And I hope to see you all soon there. Okay, thank you very much. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you, Venu.
Thank you, Venu. Thank you.
Thank you, Venu. Thank you.
Thank you.